Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, and with Crown Zenith on the verge of being released in just a couple of days, it is time to take a look at, maybe for the last time, some more of these official reveals from Crown Zenith. I've enjoyed doing these videos. These videos have been going pretty gosh darn well. The set is out in just a couple of days, but there are a few other cards that have been officially revealed that we need to talk about. So let's start off having a look at Deoxys. Now, this is one that I know a lot of people have been waiting for, because this is a card where I believe it is fair to say the artwork is absolutely stunning. Like, proper job stunning. Now, this is one of those, it's actually not for me. Like, artwork-wise, I can appreciate why so many people love it. It is not one of my favourite artworks from Crown Zenith or V-Star Universe, as it was over in Japan. And that's okay, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely okay. Because I know there are a whole bunch of people out there who saw this artwork and they were like, oh my goodness, that is one of the best cards I've ever seen. And I love that about the Pokémon TCG at the moment. The art is so wonderful, but not just wonderful, varied. That there are so many cards like this, where there are a whole bunch of people who will look at it and go, oh my goodness, that's the best thing I've ever seen. And then there's a bunch of people like me who are like, oh, I mean, it's good, but it's not my favourite. But then there's other things out there, like the Hooper I showed you the other day, that I think is one of the best artworks we've ever seen. And there's going to be a bunch of people that disagree with me. And that is wonderful. And I absolutely love it. For me, I am waiting for that Okacheke Hooper. It is just absolutely beyond stunning. So this Deoxys set, it's actually kind of a big deal. Because remember, Deoxys never got released in a set. Deoxys was only ever actually released in English in the Battle Box. And now we're getting this one over here as well. Worth noting, of course, that firstly it's in a set, but we are also going to have the V-Star, which also got a special art rare, or, yeah, they're called special art rares. Also got a special art rare in V-Star Universe. So you're going to get both of those Deoxys and another one, which we'll get to in a minute. But the fact that we're getting these cards and initially debuted as promos, I think that's a really big deal. I love that. Of course, I've already showed you that Zero Aura is getting an awful lot of love in Crown Zenith. I've already showed you that we've got ourselves a couple of special Zero Aura, both V-Star and V-Max. The V-Max has been officially revealed in English, as has the alternate art of the V-Star. Because this is what's really interesting. Zero Aura in V-Star Universe gets your special art V-Max and your special art V-Star, and it gets an alternate art V-Star, and V-Max. Deoxys doesn't. Now, Deoxys gets the V-Max, that's been officially revealed. Deoxys gets the V-Star, we know that's coming. But it doesn't get the alternate arts of the V-Star and V-Max. Zero Aura does, Deoxys doesn't. Want to be upset about that? Fine. Those cards don't exist. Sorry about that. But it does get a regular alternate art, which has also gone and been officially revealed. What we've got here is just the regular artwork rare of that Deoxys, the one that came around in Fusion Strike, the one that is Fusion Strike and Single Strike and Rapid Strike. It's an extremely cool card. The only card we've seen that is all three of them. Of course, free energy, 80 damage. If you've got a Fusion Strike energy attached, you do 80 more. But the really cool thing about this card is, and you can see, and I love the artwork, because you've got, I mean, look at all the things around it. You've basically got a bunch of item cards there, some of which are Fusion Strike, some of which are Single Strike, and some of which are Rapid Strike. I'm not going to give them away, but if you have a good old look there, you're going to spot a bunch of stuff like Cross Seaver, like Echoing Horn, etc. And they're just really fun little callbacks. And now we got this artwork rare, and again, this is one that we were expecting. There's no huge surprise here, but just the artwork of the card is absolutely stunning. And it's just an extremely cool card. We've seen it see play in a bunch of Fusion Strike decks. It's really fallen out of favour. I've not seen it popping up in a bunch of deck lists for a long time. But it's kind of cool. And I just like the way we got both these Deoxys cards. So there are 3 Deoxys cards in Crown Zenith. But it is very much a case of you get the Special Art V Max, the Special Art V Star, and then this one. Are they going to reprint Deoxys, V Star, V and V Max just in the set? Are they just going to pop those cards in the set for us to get? I don't know. It would be kind of cool if they did, but I could imagine that they wouldn't. I hope they do, but I would not be in the least bit surprised if they decided not to. Like I say, Zero Aura, we know they're going to be coming, but they've got those alternate arts that we don't have, so it makes perfect sense to put them in the set because we kind of need them. Whereas Deoxys, sure, they've only been released in the battle box, and I suppose if we want to be pedantic, and I do, it's kind of my thing, the Deoxys V, but only the V, was also available in the V battle deck. The V is exactly the same in both products. So there's that. We don't need them. I still think if you're after Deoxys, the battle box is still the best place to go, but it's nice to have these lovely alternate arts. Now, to go away from Deoxys for a moment, how about Raihan? Phenomenal Ghidorah artwork here, and we basically got Raihan on a red carpet signing a Pokeball for a fan. And I just think this is wonderful. I think this is a great card. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, it's not quite to the level of the Cynthia I showed you the other day. Of course, Cynthia's getting a special art in Crown Zenith, and it's absolutely stunning, and I'm going to say it again because I always have to mention it. Gastrodon is actually wearing a satchel round its neck. Why? I have no idea, and I don't particularly care. It's adorable, and I absolutely love it. But Cynthia's Ambition is a card that's seen a bunch of play and has wonderful artwork. But don't sleep on Raihan. Now, around the European Internationals last year, Raihan was a very trendy tech. If one of your Pokemon got knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you attach a basic energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon, and if you do, search your deck for any card. And like I say, around the UIC, there were a bunch of decks that needed that little extra poke of energy acceleration, and Raihan was a very trendy tech. It's not really like that at the moment. We're not really in the same place as we were. I'm not saying Raihan's not seeing play. I'm saying it's not seeing play like it used to, which apparently is a theme with the cards we're looking at in this video, except for one in a minute that's seeing a bunch of play, and I really dislike it intensely. But to go back to Raihan for a minute, it's a good card. Raihan is a very popular character. This artwork is absolutely stunning, and I rather suspect this is a card that's going to end up being popular. Please do bear in mind, though, that as far as it goes with, and I've made this prediction and I've been told I'm stupid by a bunch of people, so I'm very excited to see how it turns out. My prediction is that we're going to see a very similar thing with this than we saw in Shining Fates, which is within a couple of months, basically all the cards, bar a couple of outliers, end up being super duper cheap. And on a personal level, that makes me really, really happy because I want to buy a load of these singles. And if they could all end up being super duper cheap, that would honestly just make my life a lot easier. And I know everything isn't about me, but, you know, I'd still like it, frankly. That would still make me very happy indeed. And the final card we got to look at is a card which is still seeing a lot of play, and that is Dunsparce. Now, fun little thing you can do here is try and spot how many Dunsparce you can see in this artwork. Karate So has done just a phenomenal job with this art, and I love it. It's basically like a kid's bedroom with a bunch of Dunsparce hanging around, and I absolutely adore it, artwork-wise. The ability says that colourless Pokemon in play have no weakness. And the reason I dislike it so much is because I'm a fan of counter decks. I'm basically, the vast majority of my deck building is, what are the good decks around at the moment? Can I make a deck that can beat the majority of the good decks? It's why I've had some big finishes in the past. It's why I flame out a lot. Because those are the decks that I enjoy making. And the thing is, when I'm trying to beat a deck like Lugia as an example, which right now is a deck you want to be beating, I've got a couple of counter decks that have great Lugia matchups. If they don't play Dunsparce. And if they do, things change dramatically. And just before anyone starts getting like too onto me, do bear in mind, not everybody plays Dunsparce. I've been checking the list over at Limitless on a very regular basis. Dunsparce is really not everywhere. Dunsparce is not a must play in every Lugia deck. If you look at the top 4 Lugia finishes from San Diego, the 4 that made top 16, 2 of them played Dunsparce, 2 of them didn't. So it's not that ridiculous to say, oh, I've made a counter deck that can beat Lugia if they don't play Dunsparce, because about half of the good Lugia list play it and about half of them don't. Point is, I dislike Dunsparce for that reason, but I can't stay too mad at it, because look at the wonderful artwork! I think that's something we can all agree on. For now, ladies and gentlemen, we've had some reveals. They're amazing, but now it's over to you guys. How excited are you for Crown Zenith, which is just a couple of days away? Which cards are you looking to pick up? Which of the cards I've shown you today are your favourites? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord and chat with us. I get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Danger Morales, who's been a supporter of ours for a couple of months now and seems to be a very lovely person. So thank you very much for all the support and for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.